So the first thing as we do this little orientation to collaborate is let's just kind of look at the different areas that we have on your screen right now. So you have up here the audio video panel, and you use that when you use the audio wizard, if you were able to use that. You should be seeing my my photo right now in the speaker area. Now that'll just change as different people speak, and if they have a photograph loaded, their photo would display. And this would be where you would set the volume on your microphone, set the volume on your speakers, the speakers in your headset. So remember that they're there. That allows you to kind of fine-tune your audio. Then we've talked about this before, the talk button while you're in Collaborate. Initially it will be set by default to off. You'll get feedback that it's turned on with the little microphone. So that will be displayed and you will know that your microphone is live. Let's move from the audio and video panel down to the next panel, which is the participant panel. And there's a lot that goes on in here. There's information, you have your presence as one of the participants, and kind of your tools here. And we'll go over them in just a little bit. But here's a full list of everybody who's in session with you, both the instructors and your fellow participants. So let's go back up here to these 4 icons. This left icon, kind of click on that and you'll see that it drops down and you have like a whole set, or you don't even have to click on, just roll over. There's a whole set of emoticons, and that allows you to kind of give some temporary feedback to other participants or feedback directly to the presenter. Next is the I'm away button. So would everybody click the I'm away button? When you do that, there's a ding in, well, there is a visual clue that shows up there for the instructor that someone had to step away from the session. And this is useful if you're having a discussion and the instructor is looking for people to call on. But once you get back, please remember to take your I'm away button off. Next button is the raise hand. Okay, this is a metaphor for what you do if you are in in a meeting and you have a large number of people there to get recognized to speak, or if the instructor calls on someone to get acknowledged. What do? You raise your hand. So I'd like people to raise their hands right now. Click on that icon and leave it there because I want you to look. And what happens is the participant panel changes in how it's ordered. And now Chad raised his hand first. If the instructor was going to call on people, the instructor would know that Chad had raised his hand first and would start with Chad. Then Chad would lower his hand, and then Sandy is next in line, so Sandy's either answer or question would be acknowledged next. Great. Go ahead and lower your hands. And the next is kind of the question button, the polling button. And right now, if you roll over that, there is just a yes and no question. And we're going to try that out with a real simple question. How many people in class today have ever used a learning management system like Blackboard? If you have, yes. If you have not, no. Okay, pretty even right now. And if that learning management system is not Blackboard, but you have experience with one, you'll find that there's a lot of similarities as we move to our Blackboard Learn session. Okay, and I'm going to clear that. And so that was the kind of the last of the participant panel and everything that we can do in the way of feedback there. You've already discovered another major place where you can interact with either other people in the session or with the instructor, and that's that chat panel down there. So don't hesitate to use that to communicate as the session's going on. If you have questions for, like the paraeducators, you're having a technical issue, go ahead and be sure and use that. Okay, and now let's kind of look, let's see where I have, we're going to look in depth at that whiteboard palette that's to the left of your whiteboard. You'll see it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 icons there that allow you to do different things with the whiteboard. The first 7 are actually, well, the middle 6 are drawing tools. This first tool is a selection tool. And this is important. This is a big clue. Look at that shadow that's currently around the selection tool. When you switch, when you go to use the pen tool or the text tool, once you have selected it, it will have that shadow around. It will be your active whiteboard tool. You want to look at your palette and see what's highlighted, you know, what is shadowed with a border there. That's your active tool. So let's look at a couple of these tools real quickly. The first tool is the selection tool. Down here at the bottom, I have a bunch of sticky pins for where you live. So I want everybody to make sure your selection tool is there, and then click on the stick pin or the smiley face, and depending on the question, move that to the appropriate place. So stars for where you were born, blue stick pins for where you are today, and then, you know, click on and drag a happy face, smiley face, to where you would like to live. And we like to do this in virtual classes, not only to introduce and practice that selection tool and dragging and moving things around the whiteboard, but also this, you know, this kind of reaffirms this message that we are virtual. We are a VA with people across the country. You know, people who were born in different places, who are living right now in different places. And, you know, when life changes, they may want to live somewhere else yet. So just kind of an interesting picture of who we are and different things about us. So I'm going to go back to the whiteboard tools again. So that was the selection tool. Now let's look at the pen tool. The pen tool and like the line tool. Now, take either the line tool, which is the straight line, click on that. We want to match the objects. So you can either draw a line between the objects or you can use your pen to connect between objects. And when you select with your pen, you have two choices. So kind of notice that that's a possibility. And we got somebody there who's picking up on the fact that I have a green object, so I can actually add a green line to its matching shape. Same thing with the star. Way to go, guys. So next tool, and this, you know, you've used this already, so you're somewhat familiar with it. But let's talk about it a little bit, because there, when you click on the text tool, you get this little pop-up. And with this little pop-up, you have a choice between the little a with 3 lines, which is actually the text box that allows you to put a paragraph or a large amount of text that you can arrange in whatever size you want to arrange it, in whatever shape you want to arrange it. Or the big A is just a line of text. So that's a very important tool. We use the text tool a lot. So pick the text tool there in either a text box or a line of text. And we've talked about your project before, kind of at the beginning on the whiteboard and then during the introductions. But let's talk about this course. Over the next 8 weeks, what are you looking in what is most important, or what are you most excited to learn? Okay. And I'm going to introduce something that we use in Collaborate because we can, but it allows us to communicate to everyone wherever they are in Collaborate, you know, how long are we going to work on this assignment. So we set the timer so we know how much time we have to work on this. And what the paraeducators are doing is kind of reinforcing, as we're brainstorming things that are important to each of us separately, how much there is a theme to those things that we want to learn. And so we're able to use affinity grouping, and we'll talk about that later in the course, but we can use that as a tool to pull larger themes out of just a whiteboard full of responses. Great job, everybody. And so I'm going to do one last thing, because there's one last tool we haven't looked at yet, and that is this clip art tool. It's the last tool down here. If you click on it, you'll get this little palette that shows up. Look at the second tab on that clip art palette. Click Common Symbols, and then I want you to drag one of those symbols down and put it in by your years of service category within the VA. Okay? So we have somebody who's been here 1 to 3 years, a couple people 5 to 10, another 1 to 3, Yep. So we have people at lots of different places in their VA careers. So something that is unique and kind of gives diversity to our group this session. So very good stuff, guys. Thank you a lot. Did anybody have a question on Blackboard Collaborate? And we'll be going back over all of this a lot during the next 8 weeks. And so what I want to do now is I actually want to bring up Blackboard. Okay, and now we're talking about the second part of our environment that Wade was telling you all about, and that's our Blackboard Learn, our LMS. Okay, this is like the home page. Here on the left we have the navigation panel. So wherever you go within the within your course, you will have this navigation panel available to you. Here on the navigation panel, we have the home page at the top, but then there's a category of course content. This is related to either information that's on the Blackboard or information related to your weekly assignments, but it's course content. Then down here in communication, we have, this is the link to the Collaborate session. This is the Collaborate recordings, which actually allow you to go back and view previous recordings for class sessions. And the session for this morning hasn't processed, so it's not there. But this is where you would go for that. Then we also have staff information with kind of the contact information for all of your instructors. So if you need assistance with lessons, homework, or project, you have these 4 people that you should contact, or you can contact, got their email addresses. If you have need assistance with Blackboard, other issues other than course content, you have contact information for Jenna and Keith, and then I'm there, and if you have Blackboard or Collaborate related issues, I can help you with those. So these are the big pieces. The course content, well, that is the big piece. So let's just look at, you can go back and look at all of this, at your own, kind of at your own speed. But what I want to do is I want to hit learning sessions, because this is where you will find your week's worth of work organized. So this was the orientation stuff that you were to do before week 1 class. This was week 1. And this is our homework, for the class today. And we've added this because we're not going to have time to go over in depth about how to submit an assignment. So you'll find that we actually have a link to the Blackboard help area where they talk about submitting an assignment and actually have a video on how to do that. So that's there. This is 1 week. We also have a couple of other different ways to organize your assignments and know when things are due. So this is looking at next Wednesday. This will have been the stuff that is due by class next week. And there's the Gemba walk. And what I'm going to do, and you can make that a little larger on your own computer, but it's the Gemba walk assignment that you have, and then this viewing the pre-recorded modules 1 and 2, week 2 recorded modules. Now there is also another way that we organize assignments, and we call it the assignments due by week folder. And again, there's our help video. But next Sunday or next Tuesday, these are the elements that are due. There's that homework assignment, the waste walk worksheet, and then we have the you have the Y transform video, and we have the view quiz, developing well-written problem statements.